This is your local news leader, News 10 ABC in the morning.
Honoring two fallen NYPD officers, flags at half-staff across the state of New York. Local law enforcement expected to attend the services today.
It's a real problem to think that we had safe drinking water and we don't.
A year later, and the search for that PFAS contamination in Poston Kill continues. An update from the DEC this morning.
Some of the capital region's most valued players at the MVP Arena today. Siena squaring off against Niagara. And there will be an official ribbon cutting today at MVP Arena. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. You made it to the end of the week.
TGIF.
Yes.
And getting cold once again this weekend. And on top of that, some snow for some of us, Jill.
Yeah, we're still keeping an eye on that Norway.
Download our free News 10 ABC app. Find it on Google Play or the Apple App Store.
Well, today flags will be flying at half-staff around the state to honor the two fallen NYPD officers killed in that shooting last Friday night.
Officers Jason Rivera and Wilbert Mora died after responding to a call of a domestic situation at an apartment in Harlem.
Today, a funeral service will be held for Officer Rivera at St. Patrick's Cathedral there in New York City.
Local law enforcement, including Albany police officers, will be attending the services.
Our Jen Seelig live this morning outside Police Department headquarters with some details for us. Jen, good morning.
Good morning, Ryan and Christina. 16 Albany police officers currently en route to New York City to pay their respects and attend the funeral for the fallen NYPD officer Jason Rivera. Now, they took off 45 minutes ago in a Yankee Trails bus. Speaking to some of them earlier this morning, they say no matter what police agency and no matter where you are in the state or country, in or out of uniform, we're all affected by this devastating loss.
It doesn't matter if you wear a blue uniform or gray uniform. It doesn't matter if you're from New York, if you're from Massachusetts, no matter where you are, we all feel this impact when you lose an officer. Obviously, it's been a very violent year so far for officers. Just yesterday, we had numerous Houston officers also shot in the line of duty. So it is very clear that, no matter what uniform you are wearing, we're just trying to do our job and go home safe with our families. And in this case, two officers paid the ultimate sacrifice.
The streets of Manhattan will be covered in blue this morning. Thousands and thousands of people will be in attendance, including the governor, lieutenant governor, and other state officials. And we're also learning that other local law enforcement agencies are making the trip to the Big Apple as well, including Colony and Troy Police. Funeral services are expected to begin around 9 a.m. this morning. Live in Albany, Jen Seelig, News 10 ABC.
Today I'm tired of it. And we need to stand up as a community and do whatever we got to do.
In Houston, authorities say a suspect opened fire on 3 police officers following a chase. The officers now recovering and the suspect in custody after he had barricaded himself inside of a home in a standoff with police.
Body camera footage from an officer-involved shooting in Albany on Monday has been released now. Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins says the department wanted to show full transparency by releasing the video. In it, 2 officers are seen investigating a home invasion call early Monday morning. During that investigation, they came across a man and his dog near New Scotland Avenue and noticed the man had a knife to his dog's throat. The officers could be heard asking 32-year-old Jordan Young many times to put that knife down before Young started running toward one of the officers, who then fired his weapon.
This encounter took 60 seconds from the time that they encountered this person until the shots were fired. He had to make a decision within 4 seconds.
Young remains in critical condition at the hospital. The officers involved are currently on administrative leave while many different state agencies investigate the case. The story will continue following for you. Head to our website, news10.com, for the latest.
New this morning, the Massachusetts Department of Corrections announcing a new body camera pilot program. Corrections officers will use body-worn cameras at a maximum security facility in Lancaster. The goal is to increase safety and transparency.
Happening today because of a large turnout at previous hearings. Another hearing is scheduled looking at the overtime threshold for New York State farmers. State leaders are considering requiring farms to pay their workers overtime rates after 40 hours of work. The current threshold is 60. Supporters of lowering that threshold say the farm workers deserve to earn more. Opponents, meanwhile, say lowering it would hurt the farmers. Most of those who testified at previous hearings supported keeping the threshold at that 60 hours.
Also today, Congressman Paul Tonko in Albany, where he'll be highlighting the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, or VITA as it's known. Taxpayer advocate services are for individuals facing hardships, and they also provide warnings against predatory tax preparation services. Today is also Earned Income Tax Credit Day, the day raising awareness for filers to take advantage of this VITA program. Congressman Tonko will be at the Blake Annex at 10:30 this morning.
To your classroom progress report this morning, a group of more than 30 schools sending a letter to state leaders asking for a, quote, pathway to normalcy. The letter is addressed to both Governor Hochul and New York's Health Commissioner, Dr. Mary Bassett. The districts say parents need, quote, more consistency in their schools. To get to that point, they say two things are needed. First, a roadmap to masking. They're asking for more flexibility when it comes to when children need to wear a mask, when transmission rates are lower. And the districts are also asking the state to, quote, see the whole student, explaining that the vaccine requirements have made extracurricular activities challenging. The district's also thanking New York for more COVID tests that have been made available to them to help keep those students in the classroom.
Well, this morning, the State Board of Regents is considering legislation to allow school nurses to administer the COVID vaccine. Now, this would add the COVID shot to the already approved list of vaccines for nurses to give out. It's likely the proposed rule will be considered at the Board of Regents meeting next month. If it's adopted, it could go into effect as early as March.
Well, 1 year later, the search continues to find the source of the PFAS contamination in Post-and-Kill. The DEC says at this point it does not suspect the low levels detected at the company Dynamic Systems to be the contributor to the contamination near Algonquin Middle School. Residents telling News 10 they would like the DEC to work faster to find out exactly where the chemicals are coming from.
I know DEC and the County Health Department are saying they're being very transparent. They are to a degree, but not anywhere near what our group would like to see.
The DEC says it takes time to analyze the data and get the test results back. Students at Algonquin Middle, meanwhile, have been drinking bottled water for a year now, but News 10 has learned that the school's new drinking water system, carbon filtration system, is almost up and running and should be ready in about a week.
Marquee lettering is set, and today there will be a ribbon cutting at MVP Arena.
County Executive Dan McCoy, along with MVP healthcare officials, the arena's general manager, Bob Belber, will all be there to unveil the new changes at 10:30 this morning, ahead of Sienna's game against the Niagara Purple Eagles.
MVP Healthcare awarded naming rights in November after the Albany Times Union decided not to extend its naming rights agreement.
All right, a local fifth grader. Mustard is a must for him. Lincoln Barkley ran for vice president of his class on the campaign promise that he would bring back mustard to the Stevens Elementary cafeteria there in Ballston Spa.
And with the help of Price Chopper and French's, he's making good on that promise today. They'll be delivering 2,000 packets of French's mustard during lunchtime.
That's awesome. Price Chopper and French's will also be donating to a couple of charities that Lincoln promised he would raise money for. Mohawk Hudson Humane and the Children's Miracle Network.
Nice, a win-win. Look at that
There you go,
smile.
Dude. French's swag too. Nice. 6:10 right now, a 2-year-old hero still in diapers, saving his family of 7.
This is incredible how Brandon was able to warn his parents and help everybody escape a devastating fire because of something his parents could not do.
And the search for a new Supreme Court justice is on. A look at frontrunners and Justice Stephen Breyer's parting message.
You're watching News 10 ABC, your local news leader, with Christina Arangio, Ryan Peterson, Mary Wilson, and meteorologist Jill Swed.